but our scientific notation is wrong. We need to fix it. So there are a couple ways of doing this. And we're going to start with just taking the scientific notation, so 45.01 times 10 to the 5th. And I know this is wrong. This is not correct scientific notation because scientific notation would have a 1-digit number and I have a 2-digit number. So let's talk about what went wrong. 45.01 is really 45.01 times 10 to the 5th. I'm going to go 1 move because it's getting bigger, 2 moves, 3 moves, 4, and 5. My real number is 4501000. My real number, the number that I start with, is 4,501,000. It's a big number. But I'm going to fix it because this was not correct scientific notation. Let's fix it. So what should have happened, I should have gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 moves. Instead of it being 45.01, it should have been 4.501, and then I can ignore the rest of the zeros. Instead of 45.01, it should have been 4.501 times 10, and I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 moves. That's my correct scientific notation. Now, to get this, a little bit of a shortcut is looking up at this problem and knowing some things. I have to know a few things. I have to know that this number, because it has a positive exponent, is really big. So when we were moving our decimal, because it was a really big number, I had to go boop, boop. I had to move to the left. Because it was a really big number, I should have been moving to the left. And in this problem, I only moved 5 times. I should have moved to the left 1 more time to make 4.0 or 501. And that 5 needed 1 more move to become a 6. Number 2, 0.348 times 10 to the 6th. So I know this is incorrect. There's a digit, 1 digit to the left, but that digit can't be a 0. It's a non-zero digit. It should be a non-zero digit, and this is 0, so it's not right. So let's talk about what this means. If I take 0.348, which is my decimal, and I have times 10 to the 6th, meaning it was a really big number. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And fill in my zeros. My original number was 348,000. It's a big number. It's not gigantic, but it's a big number. And if I'm going to put it in correct scientific notation, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I should have had 3.48 times 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, to the 5th. That's my answer. Now there's a shorter way of doing it. If you recognize this should have been a big number, right? Because or not should have been, it is a big number. So that means I went boop, boop, boop to the left, but I got too excited. I did one too many. I shouldn't have gone in front of the 3. I should have gone back behind the 3. I did too many moves. So I did too many moves. I should have subtracted 1. I only needed to do 5, and I did 6. That's too many. So I'm going to take away 1 and only do 5 moves. We're going to do some negative exponents now and talk about what that means. And then we're going to practice, and you can either write it out and fix it, or you can test yourself. What's the shortcut? And then check it. But let's do 321.006 times 10 to the negative 4. This is incorrect. Scientific notation is 1 digit to the left, and I have 3. Not good. Because my exponent is negative, I know that this is a small number. So I'm going to put 321.006, and I'm going to write it the way that it should be, the original form. It's called standard. So I'm going to go backwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, and fill in my zeros. My original number is 0.0321006. It's a tiny little decimal. Now let's fix it. Take my decimal, and I'm going to go backwards 1, 2 spaces. So my decimal should be 3.21006 times 10. But since it started out as a little number, my exponent is not going to be positive. My exponent is negative. So I go 1, 2. I go negative 2. Because it's a little number, it tells me that I need to make this into a small decimal. Now, if we look at this, this is my answer. How can I get this answer from up here? Well, I know 1, 2. I need to, in this problem, I need to do 2 more moves. 321.006, not cutting it, right? I did 2 too many moves. I need to take away 2 of my moves. But my problem is it's a negative, right? It's a decimal. So instead of subtracting 2 moves, I'm subtracting negative 2 moves, which is really adding. Negatives are hard to get your brain around because negative 4 plus 2 makes negative 2. I did 2 too many moves, but because it was a negative, instead of subtracting 2 moves, I have to subtract negative 2, which is really adding 2. try another one. 0.0497 times 10 to the negative 8th. This one is telling me 0. Not good. Not good at all. I can't have 0 point. I need a non-zero digit in that spot. I know it's a negative, or not a negative. It's a negative exponent, so I know it's a little tiny decimal. So let's write it 0.0497. And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, that was close. And fill in my zeros. Now, let's fix it. I should move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I should move right there. To make it 4.97 times 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to the negative 10th. That's my answer. In this, I have to go one more move and two more moves, right? I have to go right here. But remember, it's a little tiny decimal. So, yes, I have to do two more moves, but I'm adding negative 2 more moves because it's a decimal. I can't just add 2. That doesn't get me there. I'm adding 2 more negative moves. Negative 8 plus negative 2 is negative 10. All right, so I'm going to ask you some questions. 4,396.01 times 10 to the third. All right. Give me a thumbs up if the original number, what we're talking about, thumbs up if it's big, thumbs down if it's a little decimal. Big number, little decimal. I got 3 people, 4 people. Who can tell me? Thumbs up, big number, thumbs down, little number. I saw thumbs up. Good, it's a big number. In the chat, can you tell me what should the decimal become? What should, this decimal is wrong. In the chat, can you type to me what should the decimal be? Good, Ben. What should the decimal be? This decimal, get out of here. It's wrong. Why do I know it's wrong? Well, there are 4 digits on the left side. Excellent, Peyton. There are 4 digits. What in the world? There's only supposed to be 1 digit. The decimal should be 4.3 0.39601. It's a long decimal. Times 10. Now let's look. It is a big number. I should have done 1, 2, 3 more moves. So I should have added 3 more moves. So instead of 10 to the 3rd, it should be 10 to the 6th. Good. All right, let's try another one. 0.43 times 10 to the 9th. It's wrong. How do I know it's wrong? I can't have a 0 there. It needs to be a non-zero digit. What should the decimal be? Type it in the chat. What should the decimal be? The decimal is 0.43, and it's wrong. What should the decimal be? Excellent, Ben. Anybody else? What should the decimal be? Remember, it's a positive exponent. Good, Andre. Anybody else? This number is really big. I know it's really big because it's a positive exponent. I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's big. It's a big number. My decimal should not be 0.43. They did too many moves. It should be 4.3. They did too many moves. They got too excited with their moving of their decimal. They did too many. They did 1 too many moves. They should have stopped back here. Instead, they went boop 1 more time. So that means since they did too many moves, I'm going to subtract 1 because they did 1 too many to make it the 8th. Number 7. All right, let's try some negatives. 16.01 times 10 to the negative 7th. This is little. It's got a negative exponent. It's little tiny decimal. What should the decimal be? 16.01 is wrong. I can't have 16 there. What should I write instead? Excellent, Ben. Let me know in the chat, what should I write instead? Excellent, Andre. I got 2 people out there. Who else is out there? Who can tell me what should this decimal be? It's wrong. 16.01. No thanks. Excellent, Jackson. Way to go. Who else? Who else? Peyton. Awesome. My decimal should be 1.601. Shouldn't be 16, it should be 1.601. Times 10, always times 10. Now let's think about this. -7 means I go boop, 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 boop this way. When they were making this itty bitty tiny number into this problem, they did 1 too many. They did 1 too many. They shouldn't have moved -7 times. They moved boop, 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 -7 and got to here. We have to take away, which means subtract, 1 move. But it's a negative move, so we have to minus -1. And minus -1 is +1. -7 plus 1 is -6. Perfect. Number 8. 34.089 times 10 to the -4. This is wrong. In the chat, tell me, what should the decimal be? It should not be 34.089. That's wrong. It's wrong because it says 34. That's not allowed. What should the decimal be? Perfect, perfect. Yay, Jackson. Yay, Ben. Who else has a decimal for me? You guys are doing so well. Good, Andre. Fantastic. Awesome, Peyton. It should be 3.4089 times 10. Now let's figure out our decimal. This meant 1, 2, 3, 4. When they were moving it, they did 1 move too many. They should have stopped back here. They did 1 too many. So I need to take away 1 move. I'm going to take away, but it's a negative move, -1, which changes to +1. -4 plus 1 is -3. All right, last 2. You can try them out on your own. I'll put them up for a little bit before I talk through the answers. 0.72, that's wrong, times 10 to the -8. I'll give you a few seconds if you want, not more than a few seconds, but I'll give you a little bit to try it out if you want. I will talk through the answers, so do not panic. Okay. This one should have been 7.2 times 10. Now, it was a little bitty tiny number, and I did 8 moves to get here. I needed to add one more move. I need it to be one more, but it's a negative move, so I'm adding -1 to make -10. If you did it on your own, give me a thumbs up if you got it right. Anybody try it on their own? Awesome, awesome. All right, so number 10. Awesome, way to go. It should be 4.2109 times 10. And it was a negative, right? So that means I went boop, 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 boop 5 times. But I did too many moves. I started over here and I did it 5 and it was too many. It was too many. So I need to subtract -2 because it's a negative exponent. Boop, boop, changes to plus. It should be -3. How'd that one go? Awesome, way to go. Awesome, awesome. So you have to know what the original, you have to be able to imagine what the original number looks like. And then when you can imagine that, you can start moving it back and forth.